I was going through all these like niche questions to answer for today's video, and then I'm like, why don't we start with the basics? What is quantum manifestation? So I'm Kelsey, I'm the manifesting scientist. So I teach the quantum physics of manifestation. And so what is quantum manifestation? Well, let's start with what is manifestation. Well, first of all, people think manifestation is very spiritual along the lines of like law of attraction stuff, right? Like attracts like, positive attracts positive. You think of something and then it poofs up like magic. That's what a lot of people think manifestation is. And that's not entirely accurate. Everything in our whole reality is actually made up of something called the quantum field. Quantum field theory in quantum physics states that all quantum particles are actually nothing but an excitation of this quantum field. So, what does that mean? Well, everything we know in our whole reality, like this shirt, is made up of quantum particles. So this shirt is made up of molecules, right? And the molecules are made up of clusters of atoms, and the atoms are made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons, which those are subatomic particles. And the protons and neutrons can be broken down even further. Those are what make up this quantum field, all of these different particles. These particles actually aren't separate dots. When you think of a particle, you think of like a dust particle, right? Like a separate dot from each other. But in quantum field theory, instead of picturing all these little separate dots everywhere, it's actually just one quantum field. Like there's the electron quantum field, for example, and each electron is simply an excitation of that field. The implications of this are that everything is actually extremely interconnected because everything is part of this one field. And the thing about a quantum field is, like I said, everything's made up of quantum particles. So this field extends literally everywhere. It's everywhere in space and everywhere in time. This field. You are interacting with the field right now. In fact, you are part of the field because you are made up of electrons. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the double slit experiment. I definitely have videos on it in all places. Maybe I'll make another one soon to kind of refresh the knowledge if you guys are interested. But the double slit experiment in quantum physics states that we collapse our reality from the quantum field of infinite possibility into the one reality we see. So in the double slit experiment, scientists saw that subatomic particles exist in their quantum wave-like state of infinite possibility. These quantum particles exist as waves. In this state, their properties are immeasurable. Like, for example, their location cannot be pinpointed. And not only can it not be pinpointed, but it actually exists in multiple places at once. That's quantum superposition. There's this wave of possibility. In the double slit experiment, scientists take a measurement of this wave. The act of measurement alone actually collapses this infinite possibility into one particle. So maybe an electron is here is like floating around. They call it an electron cloud. Maybe an electron's floating around anywhere in an entire atom. And then when scientists take a measurement on that system, it collapses into one singular location. Kind of if you're looking at like TV static moving all around, and then you take a screenshot, well, there's going to be like the one dot in the one location, even though it's really moving all around. That's kind of how you can picture it. When scientists take a measurement on the system, scientists don't know what exactly constitutes a measurement, but they do know that your observation actually collapses this quantum field. So you have the Midas touch of reality. You are collapsing this quantum field all of the time. You are always taking this quantum field and collapsing it into reality. So you automatically, every single moment of every single day, you are collapsing the infinite possibilities of the potential energy of this quantum field into the one reality you are seeing through observation. This is manifestation. This is quantum manifestation. You are always quantum manifesting. You just don't. The quantum aspect, the way I teach it, is I teach you how to intentionally use the quantum field to manifest your desires. You have the Midas touch of reality, like I said. Every single time you look somewhere, you observe your universe with your eyes or your senses or your body. Every time you are interacting with your world, you are collapsing this quantum field from infinite possibilities into one. Quantum manifestation is the intentional use of this quantum field. If everything is not separate and quantum particles are simply an excitation of the quantum field and they borrow energy from the vacuum, which is also otherwise known as consciousness, if the energy to excite the quantum field is literally coming from consciousness itself, maybe that's a concept for a different day because I know I'm kind of like throwing all this science at you, then consciousness is a driving life force of our world. And we already know this, but I teach you how to intentionally use your consciousness to create a different outcome, the one you want to see, of the quantum field. In my courses, so the Manifestation Lab and Unlock the Universe, which you can see in the show notes, always start with this concept of reality is not real. Nothing is real. And I talk about how everything is simply waves and vibrations because if you know everything is just an excitation of a field and consciousness is the thing that excites it, then it's very easy to see how your reality can come into play. The hard part is actually doing it. And that's what I teach in my courses, the Manifestation Lab and Unlock the Universe, which you can find below. I teach you to understand this idea that nothing is inherently real. It appears that things are separate, right? My shirt, my necklace, they appear like two separate objects, but what they really are is just different excitations of the one field. Everything is truly interconnected. It's like if I took Legos and built a house and a boat. Like, yeah, they're like separate structures, but like they're all just made of Legos. I teach you how to use your observation vessel to collapse different realities. So if you're serious about changing your reality, definitely join one of those courses because they are absolutely going to help you. This idea helps me. I know if you don't have a super technical background, a lot of what I said might sound really intense in this video, but I promise it makes more sense in the courses when I break it down in more detail. But one of the things that really helped me is manifestation. When I first learned about it, I always really wanted it to be true and real, but it felt so magical and fantastical and woo woo. And after I attempted it, it felt a little random. I never knew what was going to come true, which wish was going to be granted. How many affirmations do I have to say before it works? When now I know the science behind it and I understand the nature of reality much better, I can use this information to better have the belief and more confidently create my reality from taking out all the guesswork and taking out all the randomness. Because once I know, oh, I'm building with Legos, now I can build any Lego structure I want. Make sure to follow for more on the science of manifestation. Go to the show notes, see my socials. I know this was a lot of like technical questions, especially if you don't really have a technical background. So please comment your questions, even if they're like, what the heck did you just say? And I'll try to make more subsequent videos that better dive into more aspects of quantum manifestation.